When Loving Instincts Create Unwanted Habits, by Dr. Randy Cale. Today we are discussing a common tendency where loving instincts create patterns that hold children back from happiness, inner strength, self-esteem, and confidence. For most moms and many dads too, the instinct is the same. You see a tear, hear a whine, or watch your child collapse in fear, and every cell in your body wants to help. You soothe, you fix, you protect. It feels like love because it is love. But love is attention, and attention given repeatedly to a problem will create patterns. And patterns, when rehearsed, become habits. Habits of thought, habits of behavior, habits that quietly rob children of the very strength we want them to develop. Early childhood, the first pattern. It starts innocently in the toddler years. Your little one falls apart and you rush in to calm the storm. Relief comes quickly, but a seed is planted. When I am upset, mom or dad fixes it. So far, no problem. Each time this happens, the brain begins to rehearse that lesson. But nothing is fixed yet in the brain. However, if we repeat it enough, a default reaction can begin to emerge. Elementary years, feeding the weeds. By grade school, rescuing can become habitual for some families. Homework, fears, and frustrations naturally arise at times. The instinct is to soothe or solve. All this is fine, as long as the moments are occasional. However, if this becomes repeated frequently, with parents or caretakers quickly solving, soothing, redirecting, calming, or coaching, a pattern begins to emerge in the brain. The repeated attention and energy are like water to weeds. They start growing strong. What is a weed? Weeds are the habitual behaviors that will not serve your child's happiness and success, such as complaining, whining, judging, and melting down over the daily life. Complaining and negativity become well-worn grooves in the brain. This is what I mean by feeding the weeds. Remember, when whining, complaining, or meltdowns receive your repeated energy and attention, you're watering those weeds. Even negative attention is still attention, and the brain registers it as reinforcement. Over time, those weeds take over the lawn. They do not disappear just because you do not like them. They flourish precisely because you have been feeding them. Teen years, patterns become habits. By the teen years, these patterns have deep roots. Struggles are louder now. Sarcasm, blame, extreme meltdowns, avoidance. Yet the expectation is unchanged. Mom or dad will fix this. What could have been resilience becomes dependency, rehearsed again and again. Young adulthood, the struggle to launch. Fast forward, and the hardest part arrives. A young adult raised on rescue often struggles to launch. College, relationships, and work challenges feel overwhelming without someone there fixing it. Parents stand by, bewildered. They gave love but unintentionally raised a child whose habits pull them back instead of forward. Why this matters. Two forces make this cycle particularly dangerous. First, rescuing teaches dependency. Every fix tells the child, you cannot handle this, but I will. The brain takes notes, rehearses it, and makes it the default. Second, feeding the weeds ensures growth of the very habits you wish would vanish. When attention goes to struggle, struggle gets stronger. It is not because children are manipulative or broken. It is simply the way patterns in the brain work. What gets repeated and reinforced becomes automatic. A healthier path. So what can you do instead? Notice the urge to rescue and pause even for one breath. Acknowledge feelings without erasing them. Shift attention toward effort, courage, and problem solving. Allow discomfort to teach. These small steps change the rehearsal. Over time, children begin to practice resilience instead of dependency. Healthier options at each stage. Here's how that can look at different stages of life. With toddlers, instead of rushing to fix every whine, stay present and calm when upset over small disappointments. In childhood, when school frustrations surface, empathize briefly, then point them back to trying again. Do not make the problem vanish. If they escalate, just walk away and allow the moment to resolve itself. In the teen years, hold responsibility where it belongs. Offer tools or encouragement, not solutions. And with young adults, be supportive without becoming the safety net that catches every stumble. This one can be very tough, as the weeds have been fed for decades and difficult decisions often lie ahead. No one wants their 27-year-old living in the basement because the world is too harsh and life is not fair. Let's summarize this a bit. These are not easy shifts. Instinct screams at you to fix. But remember, patterns repeated become habits, and new patterns are possible if you choose them. Your love is not the problem. Your instincts are not wrong, but instincts repeated without awareness create patterns, and patterns rehearsed long enough become habits. If those habits center on rescue and relief, children end up weaker, not stronger. So what happens when those habits feel too ingrained and you're feeling lost? Sometimes these habits and tendencies are so entrenched they feel impossible to break. This is where brain-based tools can help. Neurofeedback, for example, gently teaches the brain to step out of rigid, stuck patterns and into healthier rhythms. It makes it easier for both parents and children to practice calm, focus, and resilience. And it's not magic, but it is science. Just as shifting attention away from weeds grows strength, neurofeedback helps the brain stop watering the same old weeds internally. Many families find it's the gentle nudge that allows new habits to take root. At Capital District Neurofeedback, we help children and adults to change ingrained and seemingly stuck patterns by implementing our unique NeuroShift system, anchored in neurofeedback and customized brain change processes. So regardless, there is good news. Change is always possible. Best to start early with awareness, small pauses, and new choices. You can stop feeding the weeds and start watering the seeds of strength, resilience, and responsibility. Over time, those seeds grow into habits, and those habits give your child the confidence to face life on their own 2 feet. Thank you for your time today, and please feel free to reach out for a free consultation to learn more about our NeuroShift system. It's a game changer for children and adults. Take care now.